Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to take 2 of the No Laying Up live show here in the RV. Maybe you're listening on the podcast feed. Solly here. Neil Schuster is here. Hello, Neil.
Sheesh.
TC is here, ready to make some excuses. Hello, TC.
No excuses. I think we're in a good spot, Randy. Right?
Love our spot, TC. Love it.
That's Big Randy. DJ Pie is here as well. Hello, DJ.
Greetings. Hello.
A lot to talk about. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Whoop, the personalized digital fitness and health coach, an official fitness wearable of the PGA and LPGA tours. Whoop is introducing the all-new 4.0, the latest, most advanced fitness wearable, available at smaller, smarter, and designed with new biometric tracking, including skin temperature, blood oxygen, and more. You can track your recovery, sleep, training, and health with personalized recommendations and coaching feedback, so you can perform your best on the course. Plus, it is designed with anywhere technology, so you can free your wrist and wear it with our revolutionary new Whoop body sensor enhanced technical garments. Also, this upcoming weekend at the Ryder Cup, Whoop Live will be featured on the first tee at Whistling Straits, where you can see the golfers' live heart rates in real time. All new waterproof Whoop is free when you sign up for Whoop 4.0 membership, and right now Whoop is offering 15% off when you use code NLU15 at checkout. Go to whoop.com, WHOOP.com, enter NLU15 at checkout to save 15%.
Quick question. How was the recovery this morning in the RV?
Stunk.
Low.
Not good. Yeah, it was not good.
I actually haven't even checked it because I don't want to know. Randy.
Boys, I was in the green from the hotel in Milwaukee.
But you were probably back. You were probably, at like an 8 strain by the time you got to the course today because the traffic was so bad this morning.
Where do we want to start here?
With the traffic, of course, on the way to the golf course.
The traffic.
I think we want to start
Landmark day for the U.S. Greatest
first
day.
things first. It was flat this morning.
Oh, it was extremely flat this morning.
Everybody talked this up. I thought the Solheim Cup was far more energetic
100%
in the morning than it was this morning.
The first tee was one of the weirder. Couldn't have been much more polar opposite than Hazeltine.
Legitimately eerily quiet.
Yes.
The chants would last for about 6-7 seconds, and they'd fizzle out, and then everyone would just kind of like stand around and like look at each other. It was very weird.
Bad DJ.
Well, there was no we missed the Euro fans.
Yes.
To be quite honest, it's tough for the US to just be thumping their chest when there's nobody that they're posturing to. Nobody's egging anybody on. So it's hard to continue to chant stuff when you're chanting it to yourself.
And even the DJ's trying to do sing-alongs, no one's singing. It's the US doesn't have any chants other than USA and the stupid. I believe that we will win is dumb. I'm out on that.
I was saying to Sally, I kind of think they should have invested in some thunder sticks.
Well,
give people another way to make noise.
did a synchronized clap, which is epic.
Yeah,
very cool.
They were trying to get that going.
Yeah,
anything the Euros do is cool. We know that.
No,
Every single thing that they do is cool.
So that's what we're talking this morning, and I'll hand up. I was a little rattled by how little juice there was. I had said, and we'll get into a lot of this, but I had kind of said, I think it's going to be a U.S. rout, predicting 17-11. Then we got out there, and there was just no juice, no real, energy. No, it didn't feel like any home field advantage, right? And I was even early this could go – it could be just eerily quiet all week. I think the storm lasted about 10 minutes. JT gets out there, sticks it on the first. People start clapping. It's like, okay, that was the storm, and then it was all U.S.
I almost lost the pie man there for a solid 10, 15 minutes, right before the first, maybe in between the first and second group teeing off. He almost bailed on the U.S.
Really?
Yeah, because he's just like, oh, there's no home field advantage. It might be over. But then he
Interesting.
He flipped it at the bottom. And he's he didn't completely bail.
That's a misrepresentation of my take. What I was saying was this was going to be a blowout. Now we may have lost our biggest edge. And that's interesting.
You know what? Actually, the biggest edge might be strokes gained.
Well, what about strokes gained in a quiet atmosphere?
They're off the charts.
You haven't run those models.
You have no idea what kind of models.
US
I need some Monte Carlo modeling.
I want TC and Randy to really enjoy the next 2 days of being able to fart on strokes gained until they're licking their wounds on a 17-11.
Sometimes you just gotta play better.
You know what would represent playing really good at the end of the day? Strokes gained. That's playing better.
No, but
It's actually a
sometimes
measurement
it's
of
just you just don't get off the bus. And I think for the US won 5 of the first the first 2 holes in all 4 of the morning matches. US won 5 of the first 8 of 1 and 2. which is that's tough.
It's tough to play from behind.
Granted, Europe came back, punched back on 3 and 4 in a lot of those matches, except for I think the biggest thing of the day was like Rory fucking stinks.
He needs to
straight up.
And do you want to issue an apology?
Sometimes you get them wrong.
You've declared Rory dead for years. And then all of a sudden you thought he was going to be Lazarus out there?
It's like a post
dead cat bounce.
I thought he'd be freed up. I thought he stunk for so long. Like, just come out here and play loose.
No pressure, right?
I honestly think
anything of you.
Anything that, like DJ was saying, a home field advantage, whatever that would be, that would also fire Rory up. And I didn't get to watch him play much today, but he just doesn't seem to like the provoking nature from the crowd was not really there. And I think that's what actually fires Rory up.
I think Rory's chip is gone. Like he used to play like he had almost like this, I'm both the best player in the world and I have a chip on my shoulder. And now he's just like, yeah, I don't know. I hope it goes well this week.
Now it's like I'm super rich and I have a young child and I'm tired all the time.
I think we talked about a lot of this kind of after the majors season this year and how we feel about Rory. And I don't begrudge him any of that, right? I think it's almost a natural evolution for a modern day athlete, right? Is you make more money than athletes have ever made. You have more exposure than athletes have ever had. You probably get more worn out than athletes ever have. And I get why he looks that way and feels that way, but it sucks to watch as a massive Rory fan.
Well, and it doesn't even like his wedges are just so fucking bad.
I saw somebody tweeted to say like this is actually why this is the most fun week of the year, because Rory can hit bad wedges and I don't bang my head up against the wall.
That's good.
But I mean, he's also like, I don't know, he's got to carry Poulter around too. Like, again, 2012 was a long time ago, and
that was the other big takeaway from the morning. It was just like I want to issue a formal,
thank you,
very, very strong apology to Team Rose.
Oh, I thought you were going to beat me. I don't know why I thought
that's
that.
big.
Where would
huge.
I rather have Team Rose on this team than Poulter? Absolutely.
Rose is done with you.
Absolutely.
With me?
Yes.
No, I don't care if he's done with me or not. If he wanted to play and begrudge me, that would be fine. But that's what we were saying the other night was we were sitting at dinner. It just hit me like a freight train. I was like, oh my God, they picked Poulter instead of Justin Rose. What the hell are you guys doing?
Well, the biggest thing today was watching guys hit into 17. And it was like a litmus test of like if you're actually like a world-class player or not. And there were some guys that just straight up just a low, like heel cut.
Like your boy Wiesberger?
Yeah, it was tough. Tough.
He wasn't the only.
And then there's guys just holding up
TC,
a high draw up
similar
against,
to your Rory take,
and then riding the wind, and it's like, fuck, that was a proper shot. It was playing like 245, 250, and it was the perfect line of, man, like there's only maybe 6 guys in the world that have this shot, right?
A lot of them are on the American team too. Yeah, and watching the Bryson, I got the afternoon match. We'll start with the morning, but watching the 4-ball in the afternoon with Rahm, Hatton, Bryson, and Scheffler on that hole was just awesome. Like watching Scheffler stepped up fresh off a birdie on 16 and hit this shot that just came out of the window. It was a rocket launch, low shot, kind of right over that hill, took the slope, came in, and then watching like him and Bryson start working on what the number was, and I just heard him go right up to him. It's like I took 20 off that one. Like it just. They were just like vibing in terms of helping each other and saying like helping each other with the wind. Did you catch all that one? And they were getting like their numbers right all day. Bryson steps up, hit a good one. Rahm hits a solid one. And then Hatton just flagged one back there. I was buzzing. That was such a ball striking extravaganza to watch today. You can't fake it. I hate that phrase. You can't fake it around whistling. Like you got to hit. It's got really short fours and not really short fours, but it's got like 350 par fours and 490.
Like it's got a lot of short 2-shot par fours.
Like little flip wedges. Yeah, little flip wedges. There's not a lot of like 120-yard shots on this golf course. It's, big ass par fours and little flippy wedges.
So what was a highlight from this morning for you?
Highlight from this morning, sometimes you pick the match to follow, sometimes you don't. I kind of try to follow a little bit of Spieth. I mean, watching Rahm and Sergio just strike the shit out of the ball. Rahm was rolling in putts from everywhere. Sergio didn't really make anything, but was always putting Rahm in a great spot, and Rahm made almost everything he looked at in the morning. Watching, I don't know, I enjoy, even if, of course, I'm rooting for the U.S., but just watching class exhibition. Like I always loved watching Stenson and Rose play because they just were such an awesome team to watch. And getting to watch those two play up close. I watched a lot of Rahm today. He's very clearly the best player in the world. Just does not go away. But yeah,
Randy, you want to apologize?
I'm not ready to apologize yet. Things are certainly looking like he might be a very good player.
You're talking to your PR team, crisis management.
But we'd like to see him win a little bit more, and then
Randy's
we
in
might
crisis mode.
revisit it.
I think
Tough week.
the from that first match,
I don't want to.
we talked about Rahm and Garcia. Spieth looked awesome. Spieth was flagging. He had that look in his eye on the back nine, like they won 15 and 17. I think the
Spieth,
shot of the day was
of course.
was Spieth.
they did not win 15. They lost.
I'm sorry. They won 13 and 16. I'm looking at the blue here. But Spieth had Spieth. I thought Spieth was carrying around JT's dead corpse because JT couldn't make a fucking putt. It was so
That's
bad.
not accurate. That is
In
not.
the morning,
accurate.
he was going into
JT
pouty
missed a couple putts.
He was going into pouty JT mode though.
He couldn't read him. He
too.
couldn't. The stroke looked bad. It was not good.
Spieth was not carrying
in the
JT's
morning,
corpse
and
around. He hit the ball
JT
totally
looked a
fine.
little. He looked a little pouty early in round 2, and then he made the eagle on 16. He brought it back. Kind of changed the narrative at the end. But I'm
Before that,
surprised.
No,
You
no,
know,
no,
birdie on nine.
I can't
A
fucking
birdie on
hear
9.
you.
Well, but that was like I can't fucking hear you. Well, yeah, you haven't really done anything for
Well,
me to yell about.
I want to give JT credit because I think we've
He
you know,
hung in.
we've heard whiffs of pouty JT, and he didn't turn into that. He flipped that match.
He
They got
did.
a
He
half
did.
point, kept the foot on the neck of the Europeans. That was one they were winning all day. And I don't know. We were kind of, you guys, of course, are morons. And you were saying no, this is great. This is great. This is half point. That's awesome. They were winning that match
No,
all day. And the fact
Fleetwood
that
missed a lot of putts in the middle of the
they
day. We'll
gave
get
up
to
a half
that.
a point
We'll get
there,
to that.
but-
Well,
We'll
that's
get to
so
that.
far. We will. That's coming.
All right,
That's
hold on.
coming.
What was Randy? What was your highlight this morning?
When they put Spieth's shot on Shot Tracker, because I didn't realize how high up it went initially, and seeing that thing, it was a genuine.
He
throw.
almost fell in Lake
I
Michigan
know.
before it hit the
If he
green.
dove into Lake Michigan, if he realized he couldn't stop, and he doesn't,
That
try
would
to
have
stop,
probably
he
gotten the
just
Nicholas
dives.
Jacklin Award
That's an
for,
all-time.
for selflessness. Just truly laying out for the team. Like that's it, guys. Everybody go home. Like give him the award right now.
Yeah, that was a
Missed
highlight.
opportunity.
I think Sergio's good.
Yeah.
Like there's,
Yes.
he's going to get lost a little bit because of the overall score, but him going out and putting up another point it's impressive.
Oh, it's like most Ryder Cup points ever, or one behind the lead for most Ryder Cup matches won ever, something like that. I
And
mean,
I feel like probably in Europe, I'm sure it's way different, but over here, I don't think it weirdly feels like he doesn't get Ryder Cup respect that he should, right? Maybe Poulter just kind of hoovers it up.
yeah, I
only
would agree
reason
with
being
that.
they have so many guys that get so much
And I feel
respect.
like Westwood really weirdly gets a lot of oh god,
Because he's
West,
played in the
just because he's
most.
played in so many, but like Sergio's been that guy for
He
20 years.
doesn't really ever sit. Either.
Yeah, that was a crazy stat Porter threw out last night that he's only sat in like 5 sessions. I guess
He
6
and
sessions
And
now.
Rory's never said.
And Rory's
Hopefully
never
they
sat.
sit Rory both sessions tomorrow.
What does Team Europe have to say about sitting Sergio in the afternoon?
No, I think that was the plan. Like they're
Yeah,
gonna
that was
sit
the
everybody.
plan. That was always the plan.
But it's a dumb
Was it a
plan.
stupid plan?
Oh well,
Yeah, I mean, they
In
kinda
hindsight,
need him. Yeah,
You're going to send him 5? I don't think you send a Sergio in his 40s 5 times.
But
I
I
just
think-
don't think you do.
But I think this is the whole thing. And I don't want to hide behind like, no, you don't understand. Like, this is the plan is nobody's going 5. So, well, maybe you're going to fucking lose then. Like, these guys.
Yeah, you don't have that many
you
horses.
have to
gotta,
send the
you gotta
horses
just take
5.
your chances.
you
in
kind of compare it
singles.
to Leona Maguire at this whole time. Like I don't think the plan was to send her 5, but when you have a horse and it's hot, you ride it.
But so I think
in the 40s, though, isn't it different?
I mean, maybe, but I think
he's done it before when he's been in his 40s.
it's like coaching a basketball
Well,
game.
well,
You're
I mean,
trying to extend the game, right? I would rather roll the dice and take that chance
See
on
if he
Sunday
can, see if he can do it.
rather than
I think it's going to be super interesting to see how this plays out because I think both captains have said that nobody's playing 5, and so I think it actually gave us a different pairing this afternoon with JT and I think because tomorrow JT's going to have to sit out one, and that means Spieth is playing with somebody else for at least one of the rounds. Like I'm dying to see. I think Spieth and Finau would. Like I'm dying to see Spieth play with other people besides JT. I don't know why. I just am.
And on that subject, it's interesting because if they hold to that plan, you're going to sit 2 of your hottest players in Xander and Cantlay for sessions.
I know,
tomorrow,
and that's
which
I
brings up
think
an
feels like
interesting
Indeed.
a
Sure.
mistake because the highlight of my morning was just the business like mentality, the execution by Xander and Cantlay of just I
The
think
controlled detonation.
I mean I
there
think
early in the
like
early in
Poulter
the-
just got vaporized and
Yeah.
blown out.
I
to
was
sea.
actually-
Rory just demoralized. I
It
mean,
got to the
they're
point-
surgical, man.
they were-
Total assassins.
They were 5 up through 5. It got to the point where I'm like,
They were making skin
fuck it, like let's go 10 and 8.
Suits.
It's like let's do it. Let's do this thing.
And I don't want to take anything away from that,
And,
but there was it was half and half done there. Like they were playing well, but also Rory and Poulter were
Yeah.
falling all
Yeah,
over
it
themselves.
sucks.
And I want to give a big shout out. We said to go ahead.
I was going to say, because DJ and Morikawa were,
That's what
were
I was
the
gonna say.
stars of the morning.
Yes.
Like they were a team that looked like I really didn't think the U.S. was going to shake up things as much as they did. So it was kind of looking like I'm going through the pairings and I'm like, wow. So one of JT Spieth or DJ Morikawa is going to have to sit. And if they already came up with the plan, it's probably not going to be JT Spieth. And then little did we know they were going to totally mix things up in the afternoon. But it kind of looked like that's the pairing like that you just ride until they can't go any longer.
And I want to give a massive shout out to Dustin. He was kind of
Yes,
like,
he answered the bell.
yeah, he was
I
a little
called
bit.
for it.
You guys gonna apologize?
I will not apologize.
to have it
no.
15
I
different
told
ways.
you he's not Dustin's not the problem. He's like a chameleon. He's
no,
gonna
you
take
know
on the
what?
character of whatever
I'll apologize because I was
You guys
riding
were
a couple.
dogging
No,
him.
I was riding a couple nights ago. Is he apathetic? He was not that today. I also want to give a shout out to the Big Brother program. You know, the mentor-mentee relationship between DJ and Morikawa.
So much in common.
It looked great. It looked like those guys were vibing together. So that's good chemistry. I like that.
That was one that we kept saying. I think they that really felt like it could have gone either way, right? It was one where Dustin could have checked out. Morikawa could have not been great, and if they were strong, it's like, dude, that is a mega strong pairing.
Pairings are in.
They
All right.
suck.
Are we
By
ready?
the way,
Oh, I don't like to hear that,
They
TC.
suck.
First group out on the United States.
Instant reaction from you, Vic. What do you?
Brooks Koepka and Daniel Berger will go up against Jon Rahm and Sergio Garcia.
Ooh, great
Team
match.
Tapas.
Tapas.
Berger looked so shaky down the
Yeah,
stretch.
team,
16, 17
team,
was
I,
bad.
I'd probably pick
It's a
Team
big
Pinchos
morning
there.
for Burger tomorrow.
Yeah, he's got to play well tomorrow.
Another guy
Match
you thought
2.
would go out.
Representing the United States of America, Dustin Johnson and Colin Morikawa against Paul Casey and Tyrrell Hatton.
I feel
Oh,
so
God.
bad.
Bloke
about that.
alert.
Ass beating.
No, Hatton might have found something there. Little confidence.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Hatton was like a good 4-ball partner to play with the number 1 player in the world today because he came out of the gate hot, birdied 3 of the first 5, and like found something at the very end, but he disappeared.
Hey man, I
for
need like
10 holes.
4 holes out of
Yes.
you. 5
And he
holes out.
delivered him. He
Yeah.
did deliver him, but he didn't look great. His wedge play was really good. Match 3,
TC, we know we're going to lose one.
Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth against Victor
Sorry,
Hovland
TC.
and Bernd Wiesberger.
I like this one.
You like
I
that
don't
one?
mind this one.
That's JT bias. They're
so
gonna get their
dumb.
ass kicked.
You just said you wanted to see Spieth play with somebody else.
Well, I wanted to see Spieth play with somebody else, and then with Spieth. No, I'm saying I like Hovland and Wiesberger.
Okay.
Against. I also think that I thought it was bullshit that when they sit Spieth, they should still send Greller out
Okay.
with one of the other groups.
And match 4, we have Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay against Lee Westwood and Matt Fitzpatrick.
Admittedly, that's
Oh my God.
Skin-
Skin suit season out
Are
there.
they trying to end it? Are they trying to?
I was getting ready
Is
to
this a cyanide pill?
on a lot of this episode. We're going to be like, hey, listen, 6-2.
Still 20 points out there.
6-2 is like way easier to come back from than 10-6, and they've done 10-6 before. But
We were supposed to have the horses in the back.
that's late in the
I
morning.
can't find the horses.
Are they they're going to sit then all 4 of those Americans in the afternoon? Or I guess it'll be over by then, maybe.
So Rory's
Yeah,
sitting in the morning.
maybe they're hoping they'll have a
Rory
lead where they
straight
can,
up deserves to sit. I have no
they can
problem with
sit
that.
up. So Rory and Lowry are sitting.
That's all right. You're going to
I
sit
think-
Lowry twice.
I think he's mismanaged Lowry.
What the fuck?
I think Lowry plays twice.
You're telling me that
Lowry's got
Casey's gone all 3.
Yeah.
Probably going to go 3. I would play Casey
Lowry's
3,
a
Lowry 2.
dog. Lowry's a fucking dog.
I would play Lowry more than Westwood or Fitzpatrick, personally. I
That'd
just
probably be
think
the same.
you need a guy like Lowry.
Well, it seems like Fitz and Westwood they just sit both of them in the afternoon, but it's I'm putting Lowry out at least 3, if not.
I thought he
Lowry
played 4
made
matches.
Lowry made 1 birdie today. in
Yeah,
football.
but he's
I just believe in Lowry.
yeah, exactly. He was with Rory.
He brings the,
Yeah, he's-
No, I hate to say
I
that.
can't emphasize enough. Like Rory stinks.
Like, yeah, it's just bad. It's bad.
Lowry brings some bloke too. He gives you a little bit of ups
He's
the bloke.
proud.
a little bit.
I would have played him tomorrow morning.
Rory made 0 birdies and 1 eagle in 4-ball today.
Whoa.
Yeah.
it's so bad.
Are we ready to declare?
Yeah, Neil and I were talking about. I think we kind of riffed on it. And we kind of joked about it. But I think there's a significant bloke shortage out there. The blokes have not turned up. The blokes from the fan perspective
The blow points
on the golf course.
We're
We're watching the bloke
It's
points out there.
It's tough, you know.
We're calling all blokes in the
Yes,
area.
and
to
I think
show
sitting
up
Lowry
tomorrow.
is exacerbating the problem. you
And
know?
Casey's doing his part. He's a bloke.
It seems like Harrington's rationing blokes, which we shouldn't be doing that right now. You know, we need to be sending all blokes out.
So sitting for the Euros is Rory,
Poulter.
Fleetwood.
Fleetwood, and Lowry.
I thought Fleet like so you're gonna
Which
say,
you're man.
like I don't know. I think Fleetwood's like
I'd rather
think
die
he's-
with Fleetwood and Lowry playing. I think it's
Exactly.
riding that out. Like if I'm gonna die, I want those guys out there.
Over Fitzpatrick and Westwood, basically,
Yeah.
or Wiesberger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd rather die. I'd rather die with Rory playing. Like go down with Rory. Like what do you think Rory's going to go
Rory's
0-2 again
gotta go.
tomorrow?
No, I'm with you.
Oh,
I'm
I
with you
well, I
there.
think that's but it's like there's more to it
They
than
might
that.
be
Right?
sheltering him. Honestly.
I mean, like if you're in America, like if I
What if
Rudy-
Rory sits in the afternoon?
no way,
That'd be sick.
no.
They may be having a
So
visitation.
hold
for
on.
Lowry.
This
At
is
the
all
clubhouse.
very new information. We're just processing. But you're picking
Bullshit.
Ian Poulter, and then you're sitting him in a foursome session, which is all. It seems like he's going to
That's
play,
the reason he's on the team,
right? And man, and you're sitting Sergio because nobody's arbitrarily going to play 5. Seems really off, man. This
They also
doesn't seem to
just
make
don't
sense.
have like depth and
right,
talent.
which is where it's like your horses need to fucking go.
But it's like, hey, like singles are up for grabs, but we got to get to singles first. You know,
Singles is where they're
That's
lined
gonna
up the worst,
Like
actually.
that.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a shooting spree.
Yeah.
Podrick may have done a few too many
Yeah.
iterations here. He may be.
but yet also he's kind of dealing with a tough hand. Like he might need to gamble a little bit. I don't know what. I don't know how.
that's
but
what
like,
we're
and
saying
that's,
is
and that's
you
why
need
I
to
totally
gamble.
agree with you. But my opinion is he's gambling on the wrong guy.
Sure,
Which
very well
It's
could
like
be
you
the
need to
case.
hide your weaknesses. You know,
A quick break here. We're going to check in with our friends at Dream Golf. Dream Golf is a leading golf brand responsible for 3 of the most beautiful and influential golf destinations in North America. They are Bandon Dunes,
Sand Valley.
Sand Valley,
Cabot.
and Cabot. That's exactly right. Big things are happening at Dream Golf Destinations. Bandon Dunes recently announced it will host 13 USGA Amateur Championships over the next 23 years, starting with the 2022 US Junior Amateur. That is so many amateur championships. In Wisconsin, the Lido Golf Club is being restored near Sand Valley. The Lido was considered by many golf historians to be the greatest golf course ever created before it was destroyed during World War II. To celebrate these exciting developments, Dream Golf is hosting a giveaway that gives you a chance to win either Bandon Dunes or Sand Valley trips next July. You can be among the first to preview the Lido or be on site at Bandon Dunes for the 2022 US Junior Amateur Championship. The choice is all yours. Dream Golf giveaway is open to all subscribers. Enter by September 30th for your chance to win a 4-day, 3-night stay. I know you guys love the free stuff. So go to dreamgolf.com/giveaway to submit your entry and start dreaming. I don't think I'm ready to quite move on from the morning session even, are we? I mean, we have, I guess we Berger and Koepka.
Let's just go to the matches.
Berger and Koepka were solid, unspectacular, I thought.
Good pairing.
Up
Looking
against,
forward to seeing it again
It
tomorrow.
was kind of spectacular down the stretch from Berger kept shanking.
yeah, that was.
unbelievable.
What's weird is that I was there for the shot on 17. It sounded so flush. Like it was not a shank.
Really?
It sounded so pure. And we looked up and just could not believe where that ball was flying. Sorry, honey.
Is this a
We're on
special
the live
guest?
show.
Is this a guest?
No, it is not.
Pop her in.
Next topic.
Yeah, but I think if they draw a different pairing than Westwood Fitzpatrick, they were not terrible, but they were not a fantastic pair, and they're going back out again.
God, that's blown. Your pairing tomorrow is blowing my
It's the
mind.
best lineup of the 3 so far for the U.S.
Yeah,
tomorrow morning.
That's that. It's like Podrick's lost the plot.
Legit, it might be.
Don't.
Like
It might be 10-2.
Oh,
guys.
God.
You know, Randy and I were
Legit
the
might
point
be 10-2.
where
Match
you know,
1 is
No, the Spaniards are going. against stinky. Who they got?
Team Tapas is.
They
We'll probably get a point.
Spaniards versus
the free
Kefren
shoes.
Burger.
Yeah, I like the Spaniards there.
I definitely like the Spaniards.
All right, 9-3.
I mean, basically, I'm looking at it on the third. On the third
Fuegos.
one, like Hovland's gonna have to play. Hovland and Wiesberger got to stop the bleeding, make a little upset there, and then I just don't see like Westwood Fitzpatrick feels like an auto loss.
But yeah, I don't know how we're making putts in that one, TC.
And JT Spieth, I don't see them losing again. I know that's kind of
What would the odds
feel, but like JT
Yeah.
down the stretch looked like so much better. I
Yeah.
think they're we've talked about how the U.S. is. I mean, they're big time front runners. When they're up big, they love just keep
Beating
punching.
you down.
Yeah, I don't see those guys losing.
Bottom
This is gonna
line,
be over.
like bottom line, I would feel so much better about the morning session if instead of Westwood Fitzpatrick, you had Lowry Fleetwood in that last pairing.
I would
It'd be
feel
like,
worse as an American fan.
Yeah,
so
and they'd be like, all right, like
yeah.
you know what?
You feel like you
We're
got to punch
mixing
your
it up a
stance.
little bit. Instead, we're sending out the two guys. They like I don't know. They didn't even. I'm just so frustrated right now because they didn't even like Westwood and Fitzpatrick had chances, and like Fitzpatrick gassed a wedge over the green on one hole, left one short coming in. Like they had fought back and won some holes in the middle of the round, and then when they had their window, they just kind of spit the bit. So
Yeah, I just Westwood was never. He's not going to start making putts now. Like it's not. The ball is not going to go in.
The
Like
fact-
it's just not.
the look on Andy Johnson's face. We're all standing up on the first tee. Andy, of course, a big time Westy supporter, and looking to open the day. Westy has a 5-foot birdie putt.
No. When Fitz hits it to 5 feet,
Yes.
he goes, "Oh no!" And I didn't understand why. I was like, "Oh my god!" I just remembered.
Like that was it. Just no universe where that putt goes in.
It didn't even sniff the hole.
In Westwood's defense, it was a right to left. As a righty, you hate to have those.
you hate having
No,
right
it was
to
left.
left,
It was
but-
no, it was
I'm
left to
joking.
right.
No, I'm joking. It was right. No, it was like the easiest putt you can have. Andy needs to apologize for Lee Westwood. I think it's where we are. Apologize, Andy.
Brandy tried to deflect apologies because he's had to issue
That's
so
true.
many.
I'm doing the math quickly. I think I had it at one point that DJ and Morikawa, I think they shot 6 under in foursomes this morning.
That's crazy.
They were so good.
Yeah,
So good.
good for them, man.
Yeah.
What easy guys to root for.
Thank you, DJ, for answering the bell.
Yeah.
1-4 in France is the #1 player in the year. Got to think that kind of hurt our chances.
Well, we
over
don't know
there.
who won the fist fight.
That's true.
It could have been, it could have been 2 of
I think they're both losers in that one. I think they may have been 1-5. And ushering around Morikawa, I would love if Morikawa goes out in the afternoon as well, so we get a chance at that top scorer bet. But that wraps up the morning. I mean, the morning I thought they'd get 2.5. That'd be good, and then the 4-ball was going to line up great for them. It seemed like they cruised through the foursomes better than they did even the afternoon 4-ball. But so let's go into the pairings for this afternoon on the U.S. side. I mean, I think pretty much everyone was very surprised by that.
Yeah.
First time in Ryder Cup history that neither team
Played
like
the
kept
same
the
team.
same pairing
Really?
together.
Really?
I did not
That's
even
wild.
notice.
Yeah, that was
Northing
that was
of it.
very surprised. We were standing out on 16 or closer to 12, and we saw the guys like putting the board up.
Yeah, we were like truly shocked in real
Yeah,
time.
you're like, wow, really?
Did he grab the right name?
Yeah, because he messed up a couple of the
Yeah.
names that they put up on the board.
Some dude DM'd like with the exact 4 pairings for the U.S. Got him exactly right in the morning, and I like almost replied to him like, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen." It ended up being exactly right, but
Well, so we had the 2 pairings were what we thought: Bryson and Scottie and Tony and Harris English.
Yes.
Yeah, completely shook up the other 2.
so I saw some analytics tweets going around that are like, you have, and I don't know what the formula is, or I don't really even care that much, but it's like for the guys that fit your 4-ball profile. And I don't know how you would manage that, or I'm sure it's a simulation thing that you'd run. Like if you and I,
Carlos probably.
yeah, it's probably you and I played 4-ball together versus you and I, for some reason this would be better. But I'm guessing that's kind of where this came from, right? Because
I didn't personally. The one that I was mixed up with was JT Cantlay. I just felt like that wasn't
Strength on strength.
well. I felt like
Personality-wise.
personality-wise, and JT coming off what I thought was a not a great morning.
Well, especially like DJ Cantlay seems to make more sense.
Yeah.
And Xander JT seems to make more
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, so it just felt
Yeah,
like that
obviously
one
they
felt really
felt
weird,
different.
and they got a half out of it. So it's like, but I think that could have been more because Cantlay was playing so good in the morning. I feel like he kind of had to.
Cantley said afterward, JT carried me around. I didn't get to watch
Fair
that
enough.
match. Got like dropped from TV. I don't know what the hell happened with that
I think
match,
some of it's like
Fleetwood kept missing putts.
but they showed those.
straight up, like that was it. Like Fleetwood just kept missing putts.
Yeah.
which, you know,
But it was
That-
funny
that
to me
should've
to
been
break
a
up
really
Xander
good
and
point.
that should have been
Cantlay.
like a 3 and 2.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Listen, I'm not trying to salt the wounds, but like Fleetwood always misses putts.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole fucking point. That's kind of this is.
But
They
also,
are who we
like,
thought they
when
were
you
on
have
both
a-
sides here, guys.
When you have a lead as Europe, like you can't, because I think 17 favors the Americans in a big way, like, or at least a lot of the like the top shelf Americans.
Because it's hard.
Because
Of course,
they're
it matter.
Oh, course fit totally matters, right? And I
That wasn't necessarily for you. That was
Yeah.
for a lot of people that had said that I've said course fit is
Yeah.
overrated. It's like no. Like this is a big boy ballpark that like the best ball strikers are going to shine on.
TC and I have concerns. It's not proper though.
there it
it's
is.
wet
Okay.
as shit. Talked to a couple of the agronomy
Look
guys
at this.
last
They're
night.
truly laying
Don't even-
seeds.
don't even
They're trying to
acknowledge it.
germinate.
No, let
It's
us
station
you know,
to station.
They're germinating
It's
a
American
take.
League baseball golf. It's
Yeah.
not
We told you this in
What
2013
I'm
when it was
saying is, like,
announced.
okay. You want to be the best at that? Fine.
I will say though, it's fucking spectacular.
It's
Sweet.
That's
It looks
awesome to
sweet
hear.
on TV.
I'm so glad to hear you say
it's
that.
sweet. It's a sexy venue.
and good match play holes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I,
don't want.
think.
God, now I
don't wanna
hesitate.
fluff 'em.
I hesitate to do it after TC just earnestly said that, but just to pull back the curtain a little bit, the boys are getting on the shuttle bus.
Oh, come
The
on.
boys are getting on the shuttle bus tonight. It's like, all right,
Randy, we
Well,
got
you
to
know
go
what?
in on the course.
I think we just blame it on the course.
No,
That's
I
our
said-
only. That's our
No,
only.
This
chance.
is
No, I said we gotta
We gotta
start-
set this. We gotta set it now.
No, I
we,
gotta
gotta,
say
we gotta lay this.
we gotta
now.
start laying
We're
groundwork.
fucked, man. We are
Really.
so.
We gotta
fucked.
start laying
That was
groundwork.
privilege.
One at a time.
It's not a proper. It's not a proper setup.
It's a totally
soft.
normal setup.
Oh,
You know,
Come
the
on.
wind kicked up a little bit. We got a little bit of
They're
proper golf
spinning
out
balls
there.
back 25. You know, they're downwind 25
It's
miles an
always
hour.
like
the
that
ball
here.
Spins back.
I
It's
know.
always like that.
That's
I know,
what we're
it's
saying.
gross.
It's never a proper course.
It's not the setup issue. It's not.
Can we go back to
Back
the
me up,
morning
TC.
this morning? We're out there this morning. DJ cuts off. It's maybe 6:40 or so. DJ stops playing. He had whiffed on like 3 songs in a row. The vibe's really shitty.
With the DJ, I thought you were Dustin Johnson. The
And
DJ
then
was
all-
just
DJ Ill Mix.
That was truly the third DJ. I thought you were referencing.
And then all of a sudden they come out and they say, you know what? Can we just get a big round of applause for Mr. Kohler?
a big thank you for
Yeah,
Mr.
And that was
Kohler.
an unnamed media person was like, I mean, the guy's making like millions of dollars off this event. Like, what to thank this guy for?
Was he there? Did he give one of these?
We didn't see it.
He was
Orson
looking.
Welles.
Yeah, he was looking like Orson Welles at the opening ceremony
Wow.
last night. Rosebud out the ass.
This is Xanadu.
I'd like to.
The old course hotel might be saying.
I'd like to move on to something that I would like some acknowledgement from that corner of the couch. Would have thought it would have came at this point, but I got to ask for it as always.
It sounded like Harris played really well today. Is this what you're getting at?
Did Harris have 8 threes and 13
Is he
holes?
flushing ball? I saw Tony didn't even finish. They didn't even record a score for however many holes.
Literally 3 of the holes he didn't record a score.
That's
I don't think anybody was expecting Tony to have a bad week.
I rest my
That
case.
guy said he didn't want him on the Ryder Cup team.
Oh, I would absolutely have left him at home.
Thank you.
Although I will, the crowd erupted this afternoon when Phil came in because ZJ was trying to pump up the crowd both this morning and this afternoon, and it almost had a detrimental effect where it got less and less positive and less enthusiastic, and then Mickelson comes out and
It was biggest
people lost their minds.
biggest applause
Other than Greller.
of
So-
the afternoon.
So Mickelson accomplished his role without even having to hit a shot.
Let's be honest. I think you put Mickelson out there, and I think the U.S. probably is still the favorites. This
And it'd be a
week.
lot.
Mickelson would be
very
the only one
entertaining.
playing 5 matches.
You get to see a major champion.
A major champion
Listen.
on a Pete Dye, waterfront golf course earlier this year.
Listen, Big Tone played. By all reports, he played pretty well today. I will grant him
Brilliantly.
that.
Say brilliantly.
No, I don't know if it was brilliant.
He was the best player on
He
the
was
course
great.
this
He
afternoon.
was brilliant.
Well, I didn't see much of it, so
He
I
only
can't-
putted his
I can't
ass
comment
off.
on
When
that.
Big Tone puts his ass off,
Yeah.
You can cancel Christmas.
Birdie on 1, birdie on 5, birdie on 6, birdie on 9, birdie on 10, birdie on 13 and close the match with a par on 15.
And I want to stand by everything I've ever said about Big Tone, stroke play wise, all that. He was super endearing out there today. He's getting the crowd riled up.
He's the best.
Fun dude to root for on the American side. It was awesome having him out there.
Low key, like probably looks the swaggiest too, like opening ceremonies.
Yeah,
like
he was the first guy. So the first, he's completely juiceless, right? As we've covered, he was the first player out there walking out across the tee, trying to hype everybody up. He was absolutely. He seems like truly like
team player,
just a really awesome teammate.
Now, do you feel really bad for?
No, what did I say up front? I stand by everything I've ever said. But I'm adding that to the tapestry.
I did think
it's a complex situation. It's not all black and white.
Big Tone was going to keep, the crowd quieted down before he actually hit. I thought he was going to be the one to keep him going up.
Potentially.
I would say the biggest miss biggest miss of the day was the fact that Bryson. I mean, it was teed up for him to step off that ball and hit people and get the crowd going. He didn't do it. I thought that would have been the perfect pandering.
It's kind of gross hearing people in the crowd this week like loving Bryson, but being like, "Oh, it's we just root for him this week."
Bryson's gotten a half point so far. I do not want this to be. I do not want this to be a redemptive story for Bryson.
All of these people would be shitting on Bryson if it were a stroke play tournament.
And I am very, very fine agreeing with that. I don't think it is a redemptive story. No,
we've seen this movie before.
Yeah, I think
this is the Patrick Reed story.
Yes, I think the hat is like a total game changer. Take the douchey hat off.
That's a good ball.
They're bad hats.
He looks spry. He looks athletic. I really enjoyed watching Bryson today. I found like his shtick plays so well. He plays it. He's so awkward almost every other day of the year, and the way he played the crowd today was honestly just perfect. Like
it's the JJ Watt.
Can you describe what he was doing with the driver?
So on one today, he gets up there and he just gets out there, and when it's his turn, he just like slowly ripped off the head cover and like held the driver up for the crowd to see. Then he gets to 13, which is 395.
Choose yo.
Dead downwind. They like talk about it for a little while. He gets driver out and like he's talking about with Scottie. Scottie hits iron, but Bryson puts the driver back in the bag. And then when Scottie hits the fairway with iron, he takes the driver out and just, again, shows it all around to the crowd. And then he flew it 390 into the greenside bunker on 13. It was electric. And that wasn't even the longest drive he hit. He won 417 on 5. So we get to 5T.
78 yards, was it?
72 yards in and made the eagle because everyone loves chiming in, like, oh, made 4, though. What's it matter? But so he gets up on 5 and he goes and climbs the hill almost off the property to go find a line, and then killed
that lady on 1. By the way,
he did, but that's fine.
He did yell 4.
That's in the budget. That's in the models. He did yell 4. He did yell 4. Yes, he did. He did
on 1.
On 1, they yelled 4. Okay. Trust me, believe me on that.
Believe that.
And so he gets up there, and we're standing on one of the old tee boxes on 5, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, he's gonna come bite off a lot. Like we might kind of be in the way. We moved like 40 yards more out of the way, and he still hit it right over our heads. Like the line he took on 5 is something I could not have even pictured, even downwind, and knowing how far he hits it.
Listen, all of our Bryson stuff well documented. Massive cheese dick. Et al. We've covered this. I hope there's a takeaway here, and he doesn't need to change his everything and try to bend to everybody's will. But I hope there's a takeaway on like, man, it's way more fun when everyone's like rooting for you. And it's like, just check your ego, because you're not going to control 8 billion people's like minds. You're not going to control the narrative. That's a myth. That doesn't work.
Go hit the ball really far.
Your agent is not good enough to do that, clearly, or like that would have happened by now. Just check your ego. Why does everybody love Rory? Why does everybody love Spieth? Why does everybody love all these guys? Because they just are like, hey man, hand up, I was wrong about this one. Oh yeah, I guess I should be a little bit of a human here. Just embrace that a little bit, because there's all the ingredients there for everybody to root for you and to cheer for you. You just got to stop being a dick.
Yeah, and he did, and he played well today.
He had
stepped up and played good.
3 birdies and an eagle. I think he carded 1 bogey on 11.
In that same match, I think the highlight of the afternoon was something that didn't happen, but the moment before Hatton.
But if it did,
no, on 18, Hatton, if he had missed that birdie putt,
oh my god,
I think he might have put his putter head through his skull.
He almost
I was imagining like what he was gonna.
Just
due
the
to
toe of it
himself.
right in his
Yeah,
forehead.
like I was like, oh my god, this could get really ugly. And I was like hoping he'd make it so that it would. I kind of want to keep it close here, so it's not a total blowout.
I thought he was going to throw the putter in the lake on 17.
Yeah, I know. And so then when 18 came around, he had to make that 5-footer. Had to have it. He did make it. So we'll never see, what could have happened.
It seemed like almost
Suspenseful.
on every team, the 4-ball partners, like no one covered each other up on birdies. Like Bryson and Scottie zigged and zagged really well. Scottie kind of lost it a little bit there in the middle of the round, but Bryson was 4 under through 8 and hit an awesome freaking shot to the back right pin downwind coming into the 8th hole. And him and Scheffler, Scheffler's probably the 12th guy on the team. And if that's your 12th guy on the team, you're going to win a lot of Ryder Cups. Like it's just that if that's like your depth guy.
I'll also say Scheffler's
totally good day.
Scheffler's like a really good. He's the guy they haven't had on the U.S. team, right? That he can go out and make a shitload of birdies. He's a kind of a slow simmer.
What kind of reminds me?
Gets along with everybody.
Kind of reminds me of Peters that year.
Yeah,
right.
He
Which
could
is
hit
like
that shot on
almost
17.
unproven
Exactly.
talent that also has every tool
Yeah, and he's kind of an old soul. Like he's not gonna
and an old body.
like. I mean, like we were saying earlier, like he's played in 6 or 7 of these things, but he hasn't played in one since like '94.
He's back.
Yeah, like we've covered. I mean, Rahm was just freaking going to be Rahm. Harris English, I didn't get to watch any of that match, but looked like Finau was carrying the. It doesn't look like Harris was doing anything wrong necessarily. He made a huge birdie for them on 8, which was
freeing up my guy.
really.
I don't want to lose sight of like I think it needs to be said. Like I know we said it at the beginning. Like Jon Rahm is like
The dude.
Like when or if Europe loses this, it's because of nothing to do with Jon Rahm.
He's like LeBron on like the 06 Cavs. It's like that is what I thought. Like Eric Snow, he's playing with Eric Snow at the point, and like he's dragging these dudes around.
Dellavedova.
Someone yelled at him on 17.
Wally?
Some of the
Wally, your boy.
You're right.
Drew
That
Gooden.
hurts.
yeah, the crowd stuff has been tough. Somebody yelled at him on 17. It's like, you got broad shoulders, John, but you can't carry the whole team. And it was kind of it's kind of a lame dig, but the
Sounds
whole
like something out of Friday Night Lights.
but the whole team was
It's a little
standing
too
there,
polished.
and it was
Singer
kind of
yelled
like.
I think there's a total double standard where there was some shit being yelled at the European team today, where if that's like when that stuff gets yelled at the US team, and like people in Melbourne, Australia called Patrick Reed a cheater. They just said, hey, like you're a cheater, but they didn't say anything malicious. They just said, hey, like you cheated. And at like Liberty National, same kind of thing. There was all sorts of stuff. But like Tiger said something about it down in Melbourne, or like, but the Euros or the international team don't really say that much about it when they're here. U.S. teams like, oh, this is ridiculous. There's just, I think there's a
This
very
is one of your worst takes ever. This
Objection,
is the
Your Honor.
complete opposite of the reality.
That's all the Euros
Europeans
say.
complain every single time about the crowd in the U.S. Every
the
time.
Euros.
The U.S. never does.
The Euros aren't. No, Tiger was bitching about stuff. I mean, Kessler, Corain got into a fight.
We're going to exclude the Kessler, Corain, Patrick Reed, excavator, shovel.
The
cheating
cat
thing
said he
going on
was
there.
so disappointed at some of the stuff that he was hearing down in.
Well, yeah, he shouldn't have picked him for the team. I'm going to put that on the cat.
No, but even besides Reed, where
I think both teams complain about when they're on form. Like that's
European is they win a lot. They win more Ryder Cups and they win the complaining.
I'm happy to shit on the American team. The
Yeah.
U.S. is not wearing that one.
No,
That's
They beat each
objection,
other.
Your
They
Honor.
complain about each other.
I think there's double standard.
I think correct in the opposite way.
it's
of what
like
you said.
it's like pickup basketball. Everybody's calling like, no, you foul, and then everybody gets mad because you're calling too many fouls. Like that's a mutual thing.
And there's been no complaining from the Europeans so far that I've heard. And some of the things said out there. There's a couple things that are like. So I think like Wisconsin, like football, they're football fans by nature, especially this close to Green Bay. There's a lot more booing going on today.
A lot of booing.
Yeah,
which I'll push.
It's lame.
If you're booing Rory and Shane
it's
Lowry,
lame.
your boos don't mean anything. Who's booing those guys?
But like that's just
Just through the horses.
that's
Come
their
on.
reaction. The opposing team walks through the tunnel at Lambeau, like we're gonna boo. And they clearly didn't really know how to cheer, but like jeering like players is part of like being a football fan too. And there's plenty of like jeering the players. Even like Hazel's team was like mean spirited, and this was kind of like not as mean spirited and emotional, but just kind of like weird, like cheesy sports.
You can definitely
cheers.
feel the effect of the alcohol.
Afternoon was
AM
different.
versus PM.
Afternoon was different.
Like AM, everybody's been out there since 2 or 3, or like for like 2 or 3 hours, and then PM, everybody's on their 5th beer, 6th beer, or mixed drink, and and it's like, hey, like
It made it more fun.
There's a definite shift in tone.
Yes.
Right.
Big Tone.
Shout out to Big Tone.
Of course. Eternal shout out to Big Tone. What else? Who else we got to cover here? Do we
I'm a
cover
little-
pretty much
What about Hovland?
They seem comfy. It seemed like he
Yeah.
settled in down the stretch there.
He just needs
For
more
sure.
help. And I think so. Dustin and Schauffele against Wiesberger and Casey. It was 2-1. I mean, they were 3 up through 5, and then Wiesberger and Casey kind of fought back. And we're 1 down through 9. Like
Casey
it
made a
was,
huge putt
it
on
was
16.
it was pretty close there. About like kind of the start of the front 9. I think it was. Europe was up on 2. There was another tie, and the U.S. was up like 3 or 4 on one of the matches, and then that one got away from the Casey. Match 3 started to get away from the U.S., and that was where it was.
That turned into a
from Europe.
snowball.
Yeah, and that was where I was like, "Fuck!" Like Rory, like grab your sack and get in the game, or like leave.
I think if I don't know if Rory tunes into these shows at this this late at night, but I'll say 16's a par 5, 17's a par 3, and 18's a par 4. In case he hasn't gotten that far yet, so in case you need to know
It's disgusting.
It's your boy.
It's disgusting.
Rory hasn't made a birdie yet.
Seriously?
No, you said that earlier, or
No,
like
in the afternoon.
Yeah, he didn't make a birdie.
Did they
He
make
made one
birdie
eagle.
as
No
a-
birdie. He
He
made
had
one
an eagle, but he hasn't made a birdie.
Did he and Poltz combine for a birdie in the?
They had to have, right? Let me check that.
I mean,
Oh,
but it's
maybe.
something like we have to actually check that because we're not positive.
Let's see. You guys can banter. I'll check that. How about that?
They
They birdied the
back
10th
to
hole.
back.
They birdied the 10th hole. No, just one. They
Just
birdied
one.
the 10th. No, they birdied 12 too. They got 12 and 13. They made a little run there coming in.
They did. That was a true no one gets us 8 down. Like
Yeah,
that was the dead cat bounce on those guys. But I'm a little annoyed that the European pairings seem. We'll see what happens, but they seem as bad as they seem because I think
They seem so.
I think
bad.
these guys are going to have a scapegoat in Padraig Harrington rather than
I'm ready to
yeah.
which
tie
is kind of
6 buses together.
We're ready.
Just keep going like this.
See, if we need to, we might need to take over the operation tomorrow.
Or on Sunday,
You guys
Or
are,
Sunday.
because I'm like that's my whole DraftKings thing. I'm not betting anything.
you're gonna get a vote of no confidence going.
I didn't bet
Yeah.
anything today. I'm not betting anything tomorrow. I'm going to do like a super Hines on Sunday. We need to make sure we have the proper matchups. on Sunday.
Exactly.
And the proper
That's
guys are
exactly right.
fresh and everything, and hopefully we front load it.
So listen, we haven't talked about the weather.
Well,
Unfortunately, it looks.
I was just gonna say though,
fine.
I don't know if it's on Padraig to make up one of the biggest talent gaps between two teams that we've seen in the last.
But he's like
That's what I was going to say.
exacerbating.
I think I hope he doesn't turn into a scapegoat for
Yeah.
if we just would have gotten the pairings right. It's like, oh, dude, this seems pretty outgunned.
Well, and we can
is it over?
No.
No.
Okay.
I
TC
mean,
and I
there's got to be a miracle happen because these pairings suck. Feel like that's the thing. It's like you're not like it's not over, but at the same point, you're not putting us in a great position to
Right.
come back either.
Do we still
U.S.
like
is
our
minus 1,000. They're 1 to 10 to win right now. Europe is plus 900.
I might be by the dip time, TC.
I'm kind of Randy. I'll be
Double down.
honest.
God, it's cool to see
I
the market.
think I would think it would be like 12 to 1 or 13 to 1.
There's only been 8 points out of 28. There's 20 more points to go.
We're so early in this.
The U.S. needs 8.5, and Europe needs 12.
I was so bullish when we were coming back to the RV tonight until I saw the pairings.
Yeah, you should not have been bullish before you saw the picks.
Well, that's where I don't get what like freak thing happened for the U.S. to just dominate today. Like it just seemed like it was like, yeah, no, that seems like what was going to happen.
Paul Casey.
It just seems like I don't know what's
ton
going
of
to change
putts.
tomorrow, but
like Casey, Westwood,
Yeah, but
Fitzpatrick.
Casey always does that.
Totally. But like, sometimes like maybe not in the Ryder Cup.
Or
He does that in stroke play, but maybe not in the Ryder Cup. Some of those putts go in, right?
like we knew Rory has been a little questionable, but
Like Rory
So-
no-showed. That happened.
for him
right?
to play like 29 of 36 holes today was.
You
just can't have that.
It's like at some point, all right, Rory. Like if Rory shows up and gets even a half point, all right, it's 5.5, 2.5. It's a 3-point gap instead of a 4-point gap. Like little things add up to a big difference, right? I think also, I think what you're missing is going back to what we talked about 2 nights ago, where you just don't have that veteran depth of the guys that have been there. So a guy like Martin Keimer, who's 36 years old and should be in the prime of his career, is off, probably in the Maldives right now, just hanging out.
Well, he's here as an assistant captain.
Oh, okay.
But nevertheless,
he's on your team.
He's actually on the first tee.
Listen, Randy. I'll apologize to him in the team room tonight.
Speaking of Martin Keimer, I did want to go back to a point you made earlier that kind of clicked with me about this not being a proper golf course, and ask how many Americans have won the majors here, which would be 0.
DJ should have won. One of the majors here,
but instead Martin Keimer won.
Correct.
So I got,
and he's not here.
But that's
the problem.
Point.
It's like
Martin Keimer should be.
Keimer's both got course fit,
right
and he's a leader on the past Euro Ryder Cup teams. Or like Peters.
Keimer ain't solving this. It ain't Keimer. It's not enough young guys.
Where's Francesco? Where are you?
Francesco would have been the worst course fit ever.
One good Ryder Cup.
Sleeps with the fishes.
You need Bergers, Koepkas, Shoffleys, Spieths,
JTs, World Amateur Golf Ranking.
Finaus. This is a fucking good team.
This is what I'll probably repeat this, but this is what we were talking about last night. I offered you guys this financial advice. It was Thursday night before the matches kicked off. I said, guys, I hate to say this, but as your financial advisor, the Team Europe market, we might be at an all-time peak. And if you're going to sell, you should sell right now before the matches start, because I think we're about to hit about a 20-year bear market.
I think we're going to hit the low tomorrow after the morning session, and then we're going to have
then we're back.
Fucking stand out.
I just think it's course. It's course.
Some of it is course. This place kind of reminds me.
Elaborate.
Randy,
This place reminds me of Kingsbarns a little bit. It's like a set of fake tits.
Huh?
It looks really, really, really good.
Yeah.
But then you get in there and it's like, it's not quite the real thing.
Come on, you're still
it's not quite the real
that's
thing.
always been the take for Liberty National. You're
No, Liberty National doesn't even look good.
Well, still looks okay
No,
with the skyline and stuff.
If you're talking about the creme de la creme of golf courses, you got a couple guys on the American team
It's eye candy.
that are really truly proven.
These guys are searching. We need to wrap it
No,
up.
you got Scheffler,
I'm not done.
Berger, Finau. I forget who else is on the American team. Feed me some names, Neil.
Scheffler.
Xander, Cantlay. I mean, these guys haven't won majors. Is my point. Let's get them to some of the world class, best of the best golf courses. This is the courses
Like Le Golf National.
Yeah.
I'm just
It's
saying.
not any better over there. Like the
Go
Marco
to
Simone
Royal
stinks.
Melbourne, and I don't have as much confidence.
That's
in
in
this
Australia, though, Randy. This is the Ryder.
well, exactly, but that's what I'm saying. This is just target golf, and they're really good at golf swing. Congrats.
They do host majors here, though. That's the whole thing.
And none of these guys have won it.
Yeah, but they're
Except one
playing.
who's an
This
assistant
is-
captain.
but-
I
playing
expected.
well.
I expected more.
Listen. I'll reach across
Why
the
don't you
aisle.
guys take?
I'm just saying, I don't think they're not.
I'm gonna-
These guys aren't generational players.
I think
I
Rahm's
agree.
generational.
No, I agree. There.
Wrong.
I think.
And Spieth.
Well, he just said
maybe the
Rahm's a
greatest ever.
generational player. We got him to say that. I'm willing to reach across the aisle a little bit if you guys will apologize for slandering DJ's name.
I will apologize.
I already did.
Or you did.
I will not apologize.
What are you
Why?
going to give up? What are you going to
DJ
give up?
I have wanted. All I needed to see was this. I didn't say DJ couldn't do this. I was like, I want you to rise to the occasion, DJ. I want you to do exactly what you did today. And I started the show saluting him with that.
Yeah,
I'm
we
proud of
gave
you.
him credit already.
Now has a
You're just not
500.
listening.
Now has a 500 Ryder Cup record.
I think. Listen, it
See,
wasn't.
now it's
It was a tough day for you guys. I think
It
you need
was.
to take
It
tonight.
was.
Why don't you
It
work
was.
on your strategy? Why don't you work on your scapegoats?
Let's go hang with Ziggy tonight.
And I would love to
Get
see
some
you guys come
positive
back a little
energy.
stronger tonight, because your effort here
I
has
just,
been poor.
I just hate to see you guys
They got
calling
nothing.
scoreboard.
They got
after
nothing.
One day.
Do you want to triple down then?
I mean,
Yeah, we'll need odds.
yeah.
Because we don't think it's gonna happen.
We'll bring an offer to you. I just.
Did we pick big enough margins? Is the question.
It's 6.
All right.
6 is a
Here's
lot.
a question. All right, 6-2. Would you guys take the rest of the way because I think they play all the matches out, right?
Yes.
6-2. Would you guys take?
US -4.
Well, no, just 0-0 ball game from here on out. Who gets more points?
US.
Yes, a hundo P.
I mean, I've been trying to say this for like 6 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't think the pairings for the Euros were that bad today.
What do you mean
I
you've been
think
trying to say this for 6
tomorrow
years?
they
got their
stink.
asses kicked in France.
And I was wrong about that one, and I have raised my hand on that. But I've been saying like this talent it's different. It's game
I
changing.
mean, it's tough because the pairings today were like, some of those are pretty good, and
Do you want to go through
tomorrow
odds?
stinks.
Can we go through some odds for tomorrow's matchups?
Yeah.
Would love to.
Koepka and Berger versus Rahm and Sergio. This kind of surprises me a little bit.
It's pretty even.
Koepka and Berger are -105. Rahm and Sergio -115.
I would think it would be
Wow.
like -125 versus.
I would have thought that Koepka and Berger would have been plus money, but DJ and Morikawa against Casey and Hatton. DJ and Morikawa are -135 versus +115.
Going back to the
closer than I
Koepka
thought.
thing, I do think like Koepka probably sat around and played video games and worked out all afternoon. Like he's gonna feel great tomorrow morning. He didn't have to do shit this afternoon.
I saw 3 out of the 4 guys that sat this afternoon out on the course watching. That's all I'll say. Which, like, honestly though, like if Koepka's gonna be like Victor Dubuisson, just go ahead. Like that's fine. I don't need like.
It's a lot of what we said in the preview, where
Yeah.
it's like, listen, man, the critical mass is good. If a couple guys want to,
You can be an outlier.
one-off guys want to be outliers, like,
Yes,
go ahead,
yeah.
man. It looks like the rest of the boys are having a great time.
Match 3: Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth against Victor Hovland and Wiesberger. Spieth and JT are -165.
Wow.
And Wiesberger +145.
I might lay my first bet on that one.
No respect for
Yeah.
Wiesberger.
Lastly, Schauffele and Cantlay -190 against Westwood and Fitzpatrick. Schauffele and Cantlay are
-190.
-300.
+160. Yeah,
It's not good. But you know what?
What was
TC?
-190.
Okay.
-300.
They
I was
don't have to
thinking
be the
that-
best team every day.
Like,
They just
I
have to be the
wonder,
best
like,
team tomorrow.
like, what is Padre looking at, or what are these stats guys like? What are the stats saying that these like all this analysis and all this, all these analytics don't seem to be matching up with the eye test of like what common sense seems to
I think the analytics are coming back like, yo,
like, we're
programming
fucked either way.
programming error. Like, redo your inputs because, I don't know.
just feel like they're going to get to the end of this week and be like, well, our plan was to have nobody play 5, and we feel really good about that.
Yeah.
We lost by 6, but
It's like at some point, like
but we did stick to the plan.
if a few of the guys are
Cool.
tired on Sunday morning, but you're in the mix, that's a win versus like, hey, we're like, there's no chance going into Sunday. Like,
I've been lukewarm but warming on Stricker, and I'll say, my instinct was to like throw my hands up at the afternoon pairings, but for once I didn't overreact and just said like, these guys probably knew exactly what was going to happen. The wrong thing would have been to do is, after some hot play this morning, switch up from what you had planned into just riding the hot pairings. And
you know what I think? Something that Harrington could have done. Stricker's going to send out dogs in the first pairing. Is if you're outgunned and you've got like a super weak one, send out like your weakest team in the first match.
Well, it's hard though, because that turned into their only point for the morning.
No, for sure, but that was also like that was
I think they
saying
kind
that
of
was their
they could get that
strongest
elsewhere,
team. It's
yeah.
like you're gonna get that one way or another,
I think they kind of did that this afternoon.
but you
though.
know that they're gonna send out.
Casey and Wiesberger.
Yeah, it felt like some sacrificial lambs.
But also,
Cannon fire, Randy said.
him sending out Casey, all 3 of the first 3 sessions says that he doesn't think that Casey's one of his weak links.
Correct.
Right? So I would think, all right, you send out Westwood and Fitzpatrick, and you say, you know what, Westy, you're a veteran. We're going to let you lead us off here, even though you're thinking, all right, this is probably our weak link this morning. And then you kind of backload it, and instead of knowing you're going to get that first point or a half point out of that first one, you say, all right, we're going to lose 1, but then we may get 2.5 on the back end here.
I kind of like Stricker's play and throwing Koepka and Berger out first. It's probably going to be Rahm, Sergio. It's kind of like, we'll give you an advantage in 1.
And then having
Yeah.
JT, Spieth, and Xander Cantlay batting cleanup. That's
I'm scared about I think Koepka comes out and plays well tomorrow.
What's the score tomorrow night when we're doing this show?
You said 9-7, maybe 9.5, 6.5 TC.
I'm going 11-5.
I will say this in all sincerity. I'm looking forward. I think Team Europe, they're proud, and I think we're gonna get their absolute best effort tomorrow. I'll say that 100% serious.
And then I actually think Poulter comes out tomorrow afternoon and plays well in 4-ball.
I'm not asking you to embarrass yourself with the take here, okay? Just a simple score. You don't have to go above and beyond.
No, I think we're gonna be in serious trouble midday tomorrow, and then I think Europe comes in and wins 3-1 or 3.5 to a half.
I think there's a
in
session.
the afternoon.
I think there's a session out there where Europe's going to go split or 3-1, but I think the U.S. is going to dominate, probably 3-1 again in the morning.
Yeah. I just don't.
And maybe you get a split in the afternoon. So I think, what'd you say?
11-5.
11-5.
So it'll be 5-3 tomorrow.
I'll say 10-6 is the
worst
bulletin
case
board,
scenario.
but 10-6 feels worst case scenario for the Americans.
Yeah,
Which is
I
basically
think,
a tie tomorrow.
I think it could easily
Yeah.
be 9-7 going into singles. I think it can. I don't think it will, but I
I think
think it can.
10-6 good because I think that Euros will find a little bit of magic somewhere. A few
So
putts
what?
will go in.
9.5,
I just don't know.
6.5.
God, I just don't know where.
Yeah, they might, but
the line.
That's worst
several
case.
matches came down to the end today. Some weird stuff could happen. Some other putts could go in.
18th hole has been an issue
Tried.
for the U.S. in a lot of Ryder Cups. It was not great today. They lost one. They didn't get. They lost a half point on it today. And that
Shout out to
Hatch
Hatton for making a birdie there.
More you guys. How was your first day at a Ryder Cup? Official.
It was kind of a bizarre. So was this morning the morning that we went out and went to the first tee?
Yes.
That was this morning. Yes.
It feels like
First day of the
100 years
matches.
ago.
Yeah.
It feels like it was.
It really
48
does.
hours ago.
It really does. You lining back up for the first tee tomorrow morning?
It's a good question.
I think so.
I would like to apologize for overhyping the first tee experience.
Well, I want to keep it all in perspective.
That's not your fault. I think that's just.
I know it is,
Sign
but
of
I'm going to
times.
apologize.
I wanna try to-
I'm that brave.
I want to try to baseline this because I don't want to be just like, I know everybody's favorite thing in the entire world is going to the Ryder Cup and it's the greatest sporting event you'll ever go to, and these guys went and are just dumping on it. I'm trying to just be fully transparent here. I'm self-aware that this is a very lucky thing. I can't believe we got to do it. It was unbelievable, but yeah, man, thought it was going to be louder. It was a weird experience, eerily quiet, and just a little disappointing. If
How
I'm
many have
being
you been to?
fully transparent?
Team events I've been to: 2016 Hazeltine, number 1, first tee; 2012 Medina, number 2; 2018 France; 2021 Solheim Cup; 2020 Ryder Cup, Hazeltine or Whistling Straits. I've done that 50 times, but that was I couldn't not believe that scene this morning.
It was weird, and it's what's tough is, and this is just a Ryder Cup thing in general, is unless you have inside the ropes pass, which we don't. It's you just can't see anything, man. It's hard. You got to camp out and wait for hours until groups come through.
Yeah,
So
and on
when the
Friday,
first-
Saturday, there's only 4 groups on the tee or on the course at a time, and in the mornings there's only 8 balls in play on the entire course.
So when the first tee feels flat, that feels like a big part of the day kind of missed out on. So I hope they bring
They've got
the
some
literal noise tomorrow.
well placed TVs out there.
That's what I was gonna say.
Big jumbotrons. So watching that with the lake in the background,
that was,
there's some good spots to post up.
Talking to some guys walking in, it was like, well, if the alternative is you're going to stay at home and watch it on TV, you might as well sit in a beautiful grandstand and look at the lake and watch it on TV
And cheer,
right?
yeah.
and cheer and maybe see a couple groups come through. But it's tough sledding out there. Shout out to Herb Cole.
And you guys got to ham it up with Jim Nance today, who was supposed to join us on the live show,
Guys,
but
the
was
strap
unable
was
to. But
Sally. I
Scotty's
can't
was scouting.
emphasize it
You're
enough.
gonna throw me under the bus, TC?
I can't emphasize it enough. The strap boys were wetting their beaks
I
up
love
in
hearing that.
hospitality.
We were
We go in.
What are we
We're
supposed
doing
to
some
do, say
stuff
no?
with
It was really nice of them to
BMW.
invite
Yeah,
us.
Seth was basically there's a, we're filming something. Seth Waugh comes up and he's like, "You guys are no laying up, guys. How about that?" End up talking to him for 90 minutes, 2 hours. Nance comes up. We talked to him for a half hour. Chipper Jones was sitting in front of us.
That's shit that happens at the Ryder Cup, man.
It was fun. It was fun.
I saw MJ
What do you
was out
think?
there.
I mean,
was
all
a lot
sorts
of
of
fun.
top shelf booze out there. Great Neil thought he was eating gazpacho. He was actually just spooning salsa.
We don't know. We don't know
A
that.
slightly
for sure.
spicy
That's-
salsa.
Listen, you're on a roll, TC. We'll
that's
stop
the
there.
story of the day. That's true. Goes to the buffet, comes back, has a bowl of what he appears to be chunky tomato soup, or maybe a gazpacho.
I thought it was a hearty, like a vegetable chili.
Okay. It
The
was
thing is, they're corn kernels, and you don't see corn.
Well, they had a ladle in it though, and there was soup next
there were
to
no
it, and
chips.
there were no chips around it either.
Yeah,
So
there were
how
no
is it
chips.
salsa if there's no freaking chips?
Was it salsa?
I think it was salsa.
It was good.
Well, because when I took a bite, it wasn't hot.
What's
So-
funny is he asked me in the line.
I have a photo of the moment he realized. I'll try to hold up to the webcam here.
He asked me in line what the soup was because there was a soup, and I was like, "It's vegetable beef."
Well,
And he comes back with a big
Yeah,
bowl of
that's
red
the
salsa.
thing,
Red
yo.
Bulls for that.
That's what I thought. Like vegetable. There could have been. I thought there was beef in that. That was like chili. You know what I'm saying?
And we had and then DJ.
There was no signage either. Nobody fucking told me.
And then DJ says,
Oh God!
DJ says to Neil, he goes, "Hey, Keith Pelly's over there. You want to go talk
I
to
see,
him?"
Neil. I could see all of this. Like I felt like Limitless or something. I could see all of this. I knew exactly how this was going to play out.
Oh no.
And I go, "Oh, Neil, you should go chop it up with Keith Pelly, blue glasses,
Yeah.
of course, European Tour Commissioner." And Neil gets way too excited because if he knew it was the European Tour Commissioner, he would not have gotten this excited. He goes,
60
"Oh
minutes.
my God, yeah."
Yeah, I thought it was.
He's like, "Oh, I'd love to go talk to Keith Pelly. Where's he at?" And he's looking right at him. There's one guy there. He's like, "Yeah, I don't see him." I was like, "You think I'm talking about Scott Pelly, don't you?" He's like, "Oh fuck yeah, God!" I was so psyched to go talk about 60 minutes.
And then you've got
I would have too. you
Tough
know?
day for
It
Neil.
would've been
Larry
great.
Jones Jr. was
J-
right in front of him.
JP McManus rolls in. It was hitters only.
Chipper.
Yeah, Chipper. We didn't get to ask him about the franchise.
It's unfortunate.
Well, Neil, God, the salsa might not even have been your most embarrassing moment of the day.
Oh God.
Why?
When Bamberger, I guess.
That was tough. That was tough.
What happened?
Well, my strap brother over here big time me.
We see Bamberger walking maybe 20 yards
You got these
towards us.
big Bose headphones.
Big Bose
Yeah, it looked like a
headphones.
big goon.
We're like a group of 6. I'm actually in the back. I see Bamberger. I start waving to him. I guess Neil's at the.
And I
the
just
front
kind of
of
go
the
like
pack.
this, like, "Hey, Michael," and you know, he just like didn't see me. Maybe he did,
It was
yeah.
truly like
He goes up and gives
the
Randy a hug.
Chappelle chip.
Yeah, it was. And I got Tron behind me, and Cody, and they're all just like, "Oh, dude, that was bad. That was really like," because it was a hand up and then back, you know, not good. So,
Well, if it makes you feel better, DJ and I talked to him for like 25 minutes.
oh yeah, that makes
Couldn't
me
have
feel
been-
great.
Couldn't have been.
What you know? What I love that we
Better.
ended this episode with just a complete sharding on my
I'll
forehead.
shit on myself if you wanted to help say that I walked like with Phil for so much of the day and didn't talk to him for like a really long time. Finally, we're just like standing right next to each other, and I was like, "Hey, like excited for you to come to Jacksonville in a couple weeks." He goes, "Oh yeah, me too." So we just hit it close on 12. We just immediately started talking to somebody else. He wasn't talking to anyone until I said something to him, and he immediately just turned and was like, "Yeah, me too."
We should get Phil to buy the Jaguars.
Ooh,
That would be
interesting.
entertaining.
Phil would also move the Jaguars if we're trying to get him to
I
prevent moving.
Probably to Saudi
Oh, no, now he's
Arabia.
living in Florida.
I would rather Phil move the Jaguars than Shad Khan own them and Urban Meyer coach them.
I think that's the end of the show. I think we're there. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This was fun. We will be back for another show tomorrow night, of course, and excited to watch the Americans continue to romp. Cheers.
Padre, get it together, dog.